Okay, so now I finished the monochromatic one. Notice it's different values and tints and shades. A shade is the one that has black in it. A tint is the one that has white in it. Different tints and shades of just red, and that is monochromatic. Now, if we go to something else, and I'm thinking, oh, let's see. Look, I'm going back over to my cheat sheet here and say, oh, complementary. Okay, let's see, complementary colors. They could be red and green. That would be a fun one. We could do orange and blue. That's going to make us, we're going to have to mix some colors. Let's try to get a good orange. And what do you have to get orange? You've got to have some yellow. Okay, I'm just going to put a little bit of yellow in on my palette here. It takes a little more yellow. This yellow is a little bit, for lack of a better word, wimpy. Okay, the red's a little bit stronger. I'm going to put a little bit of, just a little dot of red. I won't need a ton of it. Okay, and I'm going to need some orange, and I need to mix up quite a bit of orange because I don't want to have to go back in and mix it up later. So when we're mixing a color, and it's going to take two primary colors to mix it, so we're mixing a secondary color, you always start with the lighter color in value, and you're going to need the most of it. And so I'm going to just move some of this over here so I've got another puddle here. So I'm going to move quite a bit of yellow. And how much red do you think you're going to need for an orange? You're going to, some people want to put that much, and then you're going to get this bright red orange. I want a nice carrot orange. So I'm going to just take a little dot on my brush here. And I'm going to mix that up. And I'm getting a pretty decent looking orange. Now, if this goes red orange on you, you just add yellow to it. If it's too yellow orange, you can come back in and add a little tiny bit more red, but it's going to sneak up on it. All right, so that's a pretty respectable looking orange. Now, if I'm going to do this thing, and I'm going to do it oranges, and I'm going to do it blues, now I can also, I have got lots more choices because I can also add a little bit of white to my orange, and then I get a tint of orange. And I can add a little bit of black to orange, and then I get a shade of orange, which is kind of a brown color, and it'll look kind of nice. So I'm going to put a couple little dots of those colors on my palette here, and I made a mess. Oh well, mess is mess. All right, yeah, that's about 10 times more black than I actually needed. So when I make, now I'm looking at this and thinking, I'm probably going to need more orange than that, so I'm going to mix up a little bit more. I'm going to use the rest of this yellow I poured out. A little teeny bit more red. Mix it up. So now I've got a good puddle of orange. Okay, then I'm going to take my brush over here. It's got a little orange on it, and I'm going to put some white in it. And that's going to give me this nice kind of peachy color. And it's a little on the light side, so I'm going to throw a little more in there. All right. All right, now I'm going to wash my brush out because if I add this peachy color to black, it's going to get this weird gray color. All right, so now we're going to take that orange color, I'm just going to get a little scoop of it, move it over to the other corner, put the tiniest bit of black. Let's see how I've got 5 years worth of black there. I'm going to add it to my orange. You may get kind of a greenish color. You might get kind of a brownish color. Don't use straight black. It won't relate. It won't make it look right. It should be kind of a brown. I'm going to rinse my brush out and get a little more orange. Scoop up a little more orange. Ah, there we go. That's kind of a brownish color. All right, and so that is a shade of orange. Now, we also get to play with blue on this, and I can make tints and shades of blue too. Well, I'm going to come back here and say, all right, so this is my complementary one. It's all going to be blues and oranges. I think I'll do this part of it oranges, and I'll put the background in blue. Now you'll notice that sometimes your colors are going to be a little bit transparent. In this case, it's a whole lot transparent. I'm going to throw a little bit of white in there. A little bit of white will help it be less transparent. And sometimes it's just going to take a couple of coats. It might take up to 3 coats to make it nice and solid. So don't get frustrated with it. Just keep adding paint to it. You'll be okay. So I'm mixing up a little bit more orange because I can see that I'm going to need a ton. Put a little bit more red in it. Okay. Yeah, it's going to get this first coat of orange, and then it's going to get another coat. The best way to do that is put a coat on, put the coat of orange on, let it dry while you paint something else, and then come back and put more on. And that'll work fine. Yeah, this yellow's a little thin, and that's what it's doing that. And even if your orange is slightly different, you're going to go over the whole thing anyway, so it won't matter. Okay, so I'm going to come in and put in my 2 complementary colors, which in this case are going to be orange and blue. You could do red and green, you could do yellow and purple. They would all work great. So I'll turn this off and turn on the faster video so you can see it fast. All right.